And hello, everybody. I hope that everybody's doing well. Let's go ahead and jump on over. Forgot to flip the cap. Ooh. There we go. Well, I hope that everybody's doing well today. Fortunately, today I don't have the problem of no audio, which is nice. All right, bud, what are you going to do? We might be getting attacked by a white fluff ball in a minute. Anyways, I hope that everybody is doing well. Before we really jump into it too much, I want to take a quick second to say thank you to the D'Artagnan 90. Thank you so much for following the channel. I really appreciate it. And for everybody who's been following and subscribing on YouTube, also thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We just need a couple more follows on Twitch to meet our goal. But with that being said, why don't we go ahead and jump on in? We just got done with defending the Allied facility not too long ago. And then beyond that, we now have a heavy recon evasion, which these are my least favorite scenarios by far. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan at all. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. Everything is fine. How are you? Let's go ahead and take a quick look. So we've got the Orion that still needs to be repaired that we're waiting on parts. And then we've got the Wolverine that also we're working on repairing. And we have most of the parts, but not all of them. We just need a couple of things. All right, let's go to the next day. And then, you know, one question. How are we doing? So we need, you know, honestly, we could lose this one and be just fine. Because we have plenty of victories in the month. Plenty of victories. And then we also have plenty of victory points. We only need one. And we're already, if I remember correctly, we're already going to have a partial success on this one because we missed the dropship raid, which was an essential mission. And so we can't do any better than a partial success. I don't really... Oh, man. I don't feel any strong desire to do this, especially because the enemy's going to control the field of battle afterwards. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to do this. Deploy, recon lance, confirm. Yeah, that's fine. And then what we do is we click advanced day. No, keep on going. Yes, continue. Okay, great. Nobody wants to leave. Yay, Happy New Year. Go us. All right, so performance over the last month was rated as a decisive victory. We rolled a 10. The enemy forces are wavering. The enemy is losing ground, sustaining significant casualties, and is disorganized. However, they can still put up resistance in isolated areas. Understood. All right, we have a support person of the year. Congratulations, Corporal Dr. Sharon Rizzi, an elite command admin. She was the most outstanding non-combat member of the year. Congratulations. Round of applause for you. I'm so proud. All right, issue award. Let's go. Then, you know, now we're still doing our pirate hunting. Our friends are elites. The enemies are still green. And we still have about 4 months to go. But that's fine. Anyways, so if you didn't know, if you do what I just did, you assign a unit to engage or to deploy, and then you don't actually go into the battle, you get this, fleet in being. It still counts as a loss, but it's essentially a partial loss. So you don't lose quite as much. It's just that you lose a little bit. The idea is that the enemy knows that you are there. They know that you're present, but they don't know if you're going to attack this time or next time. We don't know. And so fleet in being. If you don't know what that term is, go ahead. Hit up the Wikipedias. All right. And with that, Our standing with the Compelling Federation has increased. We are still politically insignificant. Our standing with the Federated Commonwealth Alliance has decreased. Hold on. Okay. And we are still unproven. We are still paying for the lavish lifestyle of our captain. Good for us. The unit market was updated. We got 4 additional dependents, which is great, I guess. We got paid 5 million C-bills, which is great. Oh, I'm sorry. We got paid 1.7 million C-bills. Over the last year, we did manage to make 5 million C-bills, which means that we are a long ways away from our goal of 1 billion C-bills, with also having at least 1 dropship and 1 jump ship to our name. Oof. Might be a while before we get there. All right, let's go ahead and take some time and keep on working on this Wolverine. So that gets things a lot closer. We're still waiting on parts there. And then oh, 603. Oh, yeah. Nope, we didn't do that. All right, so there's still 1 facility that we have to locate somewhere. And we haven't found it just yet, but we will. Have no fears, we will. All right, so they are offering to resupply us. Let's go ahead and use our convoy, and we can do a balanced. So it's going to cost us 800,000 C-bills, but we get 1 million C-bills worth of stuff, which is kind of neat. We get a bunch of limbs, some actuators, a bunch of ammo, an 80-ton left torso, which is pretty valuable, honestly. Some vehicle sensors, which are kind of neat. A mask, which is also very neat. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Convoy arrived. Everything's great. We managed to fix some stuff, but we did not replace the SRM-6 on the Wolverine. Sad day. I'm just waiting to make sure that everybody's in good health. We're still training people. Let's go ahead and take a look. Kubikov. Did you get experience this last time around? That'd be cool if you did. Kubikov, no. No, of course, you did not get the 1 experience that we needed. Of course you didn't. Of course. That's fine. Why would you have gotten the experience that we needed? No big deal. You are still a very bad teacher. Congratulations. Slow clap for you. We found some parts. Some armor has arrived, which is great. And then Recon Lance came home. Wolverine, let's go ahead and continue repairing the Wolverine. Hopefully those things can get done soon. We have nothing to repair you with. And let's go ahead and keep on exploring a little bit. Great. All right. Well, with all that being said and done, so while we're just kind of cruising through, doing one day after another, just waiting on things to happen. So this weekend I get to live the single parent life, which is always exciting, always fun with a 2-year-old. I have a lot of respect for people who just perpetually are single parents, because that's a full-time job in and of itself. And if you're trying to work a full-time job, and God forbid you're also trying to go to school and work a full-time job, and you're trying to take care of 1 or 2 or 3 kids, I honestly don't have any idea how people manage to do that. And I have the utmost respect for people who manage to be successful in doing that. I don't care if they get through school with like a C average. The fact that they managed to get through school with all of that on their plate and they learn something is amazing. Absolutely amazing. just doing a weekend as a single parent. Ooh, I am exhausted after one day running around trying to do things. Oh, frontline engagement. So the pirates are bringing a Talos, a militia mech, a Phoenix Hawk, and another militia mech against whatever I bring, plus a Centurion, 2 Lumberjacks, and a Stalker. And the victor will control the field of battle at the end. The enemy is fully committed to battle along the front line, engaging our forces in a direct confrontation. Your mission is to break the offensive by defeating at least 50% of their forces. This engagement is a decisive clash. Victory here will shift the momentum of the war in our favor. Expect a determined enemy response. Lol. They will not withdraw easily and may attempt to reinforce their position as losses mount. Strike hard, exploit weaknesses, and maintain battlefield control. This is not a delaying action. This is a battle for dominance. The victor will control the battlefield at the end of the engagement, securing salvage and eliminating any enemy resistance. Ensure that when the dust settles, it is our forces standing over the wreckage. Crush them and claim the field. Additional allied mechs are approaching the area due to a mech base, and we need to destroy or rout 50% of the following forces. Pirate Op 4. Very well. Very well. Well, let's go ahead. That's not for like 5 days, so we can keep on keeping on. Oh, and our Marauder gets here in 6 days. It'll just barely miss the engagement. That's fine, honestly. That's okay. All right, let's go ahead and repair the SRM. I don't think we can take quite that much extra time. There we go. And I don't think... How long until AC5 gets here? AC5 ammo, AC5 ammo. We can AC5 in 15 days. So we'll be able to repair that Wolverine fully in 15 days. We'll have a Marauder before then. My goodness. Well, at this rate, hopefully we'll be able to get another either frontline or maneuver lance out into deployment soon. Assuming we have, pilots for the mechs. Oh, Private Line Langvik turned 18 today. Congratulations, Line. You are a vehicle crew out of Exodor. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you a little bit of training along the way. Good. Good. Training is still bad. Sweet. Oh, and now we also have an intercept engagement happening on the 14th. And that is a turning point engagement. So since we just kind of ignored one of those, we really can't ignore a second one. All right. And that has to be Alpha Lance along with an Archer. One of your forces has been intercepted by an enemy contingent, cutting off their path to safety. The enemy intends to encircle and destroy your units before they can regroup. Your mission is to break through their lines and breach safety, or destroy at least 75% of their forces to render them combat ineffective. The enemy holds the advantage in numbers and positioning, but they are not unbeatable. A direct breakthrough will require speed, coordination, and decisive strikes against their weakest points. If a clean escape is not possible, you must shift to a battle of attrition, eliminating 75% of their forces to ensure they can no longer threaten your retreat. The enemy will control the battlefield at the end of the engagement, meaning no recovery of fallen assets will be possible. Time is against you. Break out before they close the trap, or break them so thoroughly that they can no longer fight. Man. Okay, so the frontline engagement, honestly, We can probably do this with our recon lance, as terrible as that sounds. I mean, that's a bad idea, but we probably could. Do I have anything else hanging out in the hangar? We got a fire starter in the hangar. Do I have pilots? Well, I've got a fire starter and a crab. I have a crab? I forgot that I had a crab. Oops. I am tempted. I am sorely tempted. Who do I have hanging out for Mech Warriors? So I've got 2 regular pilots that are just kind of chilling. And I've got some Marine pilots that are in units already. I'm kind of thinking I pull the Phoenix Hawk out of Bravo Lance, out of training. I put the crab and the fire starter. And maybe the Wolverine just for funsies. I honestly think the recon platoon would be fine, but also at the same time, we lose nothing for the most part by ignoring this fight, the frontline engagement. Plus, we have so many reinforcements that we will probably be fine as well. What is the Talos? Yeah, see, this would rip up one of my recon mechs, though. I wish that this was the turning point engagement and this one was not. Because I'd rather fight this fight. Ooh, actually... Oh, no, we do this. Okay, so let's go ahead. And then, because this is going to mess me up every time, so we're going to go ahead and change the name of this. So I always have my training lances named Tango. You know, Tango for training. And then, in order to just like really light it up for me, like I make it a bright yellow. Like, do not use this for like anything. Let's go ahead and change the name to Tango. Boop. All right. Cool. So we got Tango Lance, Recon Lance, but from there, I also need to add a new force. This will be Bravo Lance. Force icon, copy. Force icon, paste. Ta-da! All right, let's go ahead and move you up to Bravo Lance. And then I can also add Mech, Medium, Crab. And my bums me out that this Orion isn't anywhere close to being done. But let's go ahead and put into... I kind of want to actually... Whoops. Sorry, Imani. Sergeant Imani. You can be assigned as a pilot to a light fire starter. Great. So the Phoenix Hawk can then go to Bravo Lance, and we can assign a fire starter there. Just realized that you're in a trebuchet. You can go into a Wolverine instead. That would be a-okay fine. Assigned a unit as a pilot, medium Wolverine. So the trebuchet can come up here, and you can add a Wolverine. So now I just have to add the pilots. All right, assigned to a unit as a pilot. You can go into the trebuchet and then... Why don't we assign you as a pilot to the Phoenix Hawk, and then I can assign any one of these hooligans to the Hermes. And that gives me a Lance with 5,000 BV in order to do that frontline engagement. And then Alpha Lance can still do their engagement. Because I don't want to have even a draw or anything like that. I want to be able to get as far ahead as I possibly can with everything. So we'll go ahead and deploy Bravo Lance. And then we'll deploy Alpha Lance. And then we can advance 1 day. And this is the one. The victor will control the field of battle. Time for the first battle of the day. Let's go. Should be more than enough. Should be good. Let's go. Okay. Next. All right, let's make sure everybody's coming in from the same place. And they are. So all their folks should be coming in from the north. We don't want to drop into the water. That would be a poor choice in life. I think we drop the trebuchet low. Okay, they can put the closet right there. That's fine. Go ahead and get the griffin out there, and then the crab can hang out next to the griffin. Get up into the buildings, hopefully. We'll put the crab up there. No, we want to be able to isolate that other closet. So why don't we go down there? Same thing with the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk can come down here. Because if we can go ahead and get one of them out of the way, just right up front, then that would be great. Our reinforcements are coming on round 8. If we're still playing this on round 8, then something went wrong. Something went bad. All right, Echo Flare, don't let us down. And just like that. The only thing I think we have to be worried about really at all is maybe this Talos. The Phoenix Hawk, sure, it's got a large laser and a couple of medium lasers, but it's a 5.6 pilot. They hit sometimes, and he's got a 5.6 pilot too. But AC-10s can hurt. We'll just move the Griffin straight up. Crab can also just kind of move on up. And in the Phoenix Hawk. Not going to be a whole lot to do this turn, I don't think. Been wrong before, though. So 12 to hit. We've got plenty of ammo right now, so we'll go ahead. Oh, man. See, this is the problem with trebuchets. They get so hot so fast. And then for you, not a whole lot to do. Missed the closet, unsurprisingly. Nobody really has heat to deal with. And we lose initiative yet again. Keep trundling forward with the crab. Same thing with the griffin. See if we can't get some sneaky shots on that closet this turn. Whoops, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the nice thing about jumping in this gravity is that I don't think the gravity is high enough for us to even really worry about taking damage. Ooh, okay. So it's 9s on the Talos or 10 on the Quasit. Let's do one at the closet and then one medium laser and hope for the best. Griffin. 10 and a 10. We'll just do the 10 on the closet again. Nothing for the crab. Sure. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. We can go 1 over on heat this turn. Everybody misses, but, you know, A+ for effort. Good job, guys. Phoenix Hawk's at 1 heat, but not a big deal. We, again, lose the initiative. I think we just got to get this crab out in the open so it can actually close the distance. Because if it keeps on trying to move through the woods, it's going to take forever. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We can run this turn. All right, I think it's time to get warm. The cockpit's getting a little cold in the, you know, icy weather. That's a 10 or an 8. Let's do the 8 to hit. I'll play the odds. Whoops. So it's a 6, a 6, and a 6. So we'll go to 5 heat on this turn on the Phoenix Hawk in hopes that maybe we do something bad to that Quasit. So the Trebuchet missed with everything. Enemy Phoenix Hawk also missed with everything. The Griffin hits with the 12 of the 20 missiles, doing 5 damage to the center torso, 5 to the left arm, and 2 damage to the center torso of the enemy Phoenix Hawk. Quasit fires and misses. Our Phoenix Hawk hits with everything. So a large laser into the left arm, medium laser into the right torso, and a medium laser into the right arm. And then the Talos hits with the LRM 5 times 2. A total of 5 missiles hit, doing 2 damage to the left arm, 5 damage to the left torso, 3 damage to the right torso, all into the Trebuchet. And finally, we win initiative, which is neat. I really just need this crab to get into the battle, man. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I mean, 7's on the medium lasers. I think we just do a pile of those into the Phoenix Hawk and hope for the best. So the Griffin should be able to hit with the large pulse laser, I would hope. And really can't see a whole lot else, so I'm not going to waste a round of the LRM-20. The Crab, the Crab can see someone. It's an 11, but it's better than nothing. And then we can fire a medium laser. All right, so enemy Phoenix Hawk hits with a large laser, misses with a large laser. Our Trebuchet hits with one medium laser into the right torso of the Phoenix Hawk. The Quasit shoots the Griffin with a medium laser into the left leg and a machine gun to the left torso. Our Griffin hits with a large pulse laser into the left torso. It's down to 4 armor. And the Quasit number 2, who's the one who's over by the Trebuchet, misses with everything. Our Crab misses. Our Phoenix Hawk hits with its medium laser into the center torso. And it's a 4 for a kick. I will take that. Huh. Oh, I was 1 level above it. I didn't even realize it. That is great. I always love it when I kick something in the head. So we kick it in the head. It's down to 2 internal structure on the head, and we do 1 hit on the pilot, and they're critted on the sensors. And then we crit on the machine gun and their environmental sealing. We also win initiative. We just need to get this Crab in the fight, man. I think that's the moral of the story here. So we'll get the Trebuchet where it has shots on the Phoenix Hawk, but has too many woods interdicting between the Talos. The Talos shouldn't have shots. Back the Griffin. No. Okay. We'll just keep the Griffin where it is. That's fine. For funsies, we're going to chase with the Phoenix Hawk. Who doesn't love a chase? Oh, that hurts. 11s on the medium lasers. It's fine. We'll fire 2 and then hope for the best. The Griffin does have shots on both the Talos and the Quasit, and it's in range of the medium pulse, large pulse laser, and the LRM. Hello. Why? Don't mind if I do. I think I just want to shoot at the Talos. It's the worst option, but I want to shoot at it, so I'm going to shoot at it. A couple of large lasers at that Quasit. And then, whoops. We'll go ahead and just try to get this Quasit out of the fight. So the enemy Phoenix Hawk firing at the Trebuchet hits with 1 medium laser into the left torso. We're down to 1 armor, unfortunately. Our Trebuchet hits with 1 of the medium lasers, but it went to the left leg, which means they take no damage with partial cover. Our Griffin hits with a large pulse laser into the Talos, misses with the LRM. The Quasit over by the Trebuchet fires at the Griffin and misses. The Crab fires and hits with 1 of the large lasers into the center torso of that Quasit next to the Phoenix Hawk. The Talos misses with everything. Our Phoenix Hawk hits with both of the medium lasers, 1 to the left arm, 1 to the right torso. I think we kick again. So the Quasit kicked the Phoenix Hawk in the left leg. We're down to 6 armor. The Phoenix Hawk also kicks the Quasit in the left leg. It's down to 6 armor as well. Phoenix Hawk stays standing. Quasit falls, takes 5 damage to the head, and is destroyed because the head no longer exists and the pilot is dead. Cool. I like it when that happens. All right, so now it's a 3-on-4 match. All right, it's time to risk it. We're going to jump and check my theory. I think we can make a 2. So yeah, I think it's somebody can check me on this. Either 1.25 or 1.5 gravities is the threshold for you actually taking damage when you fail a pilot check on high gravity. All right, so 8s on the LRMs, 8s on the medium lasers. We'll just dump 3 medium lasers into the Talos. The Griffin, since it jumped, is going to be a little harder to shoot at things. But the large pulse is an 8. The LRM is a 10. We'll hope for the best. The Crab can fire 1 large on a 12. It's not worth getting hot otherwise. And then we can go ahead and just dump everything into the Talos. Go over by 1 on heat and call it good. All right, so the Phoenix Hawk hits the Trebuchet with the medium laser into the left torso. We're down to internal structure, and the machine gun hits the left arm. Trebuchet hits with 2 of the medium lasers into the Talos, 1 into the right arm, 1 into the center torso. The Quasit missed with everything, thankfully. The Griffin hits with everything. The large pulse laser hits the left arm. It's down to 1 armor. Then 12 missiles hit, doing 5 damage to left torso, 5 damage to left leg, and 2 damage to left torso. Finally, the Talos, firing some flak ammo, missed the Trebuchet by a bunch. The Crab missed. Our Phoenix Hawk hits with a large laser into the right leg. Talos took over 20 damage, but stays standing. Now it's time to kick. Everybody missed. Everybody stays standing. Now we can close the distance with the Crab a little more. So the Phoenix Hawk, we can back you up to about there. Hold on, wait, you are -1. That is 0. In that case, I just want you to go there so that then hopefully I would really rather back up so I can not take. We'll risk it on a 3. That's fine. Trebuchet can go into some woods and hopefully get some of those nice to hit modifiers so that he doesn't take as much damage because his left torso is kind of hurting. All right, I think that we try to deal with the Quasit more than anything else. Because the Quasit we have the greatest likelihood of actually doing bad things to. And then a large pulse laser at point blank range is always a good idea. So it's an 8 to hit the Quasit, it's an 8 to hit the Talos, but I think the Rifleman probably needs a little bit more help. So let's dump 2 large lasers into that problem. And then a medium laser, a large laser, and a medium laser on a 3 to hit. Sounds good to me. Enemy Phoenix Hawk hits the right leg of the Trebuchet with a large laser. The Trebuchet hits the Quasit with all 3 of its medium lasers, hitting the center torso, right torso, and the left leg. Still has plenty of armor, though. The Quasit fires at our Phoenix Hawk, hits with an SRM. 2 of the missiles hit, 1 to the center torso, 1 to the right torso, doing 3 damage to each because they're firing dead fire ammo. Then the LRM also hits with 3 missiles, firing dead fire ammo, doing 5 damage to the left torso and 1 damage to the left arm. Our Griffin hits with a large pulse laser into the left leg of the Talos. The Talos fires an AC-10 flak round into our Phoenix Hawk, doing 5 damage to the right torso, 1 damage to the left leg. I think we're over 20 damage now. The Crab, oh, nice. It hits with both of the large lasers, 1 going to the right torso, 1 going to the right leg of the Quasit. The Phoenix Hawk hits the left arm, right leg, and left torso. The left arm and the right leg are both down to internal structure only, but Talos is still standing. We'll see if that's the case here in just a second. So the Griffin kicked the left leg. It's down to 3 internal structure. The Phoenix Hawk kicked the right torso. It's down to 11 armor. Talos missed a kick and then was kicked twice, so it has to make 3 rolls. It succeeded, then failed. So it falls down onto its right arm, destroying the right arm, critting on the, or transferring the right torso rear, and then also taking a damage to the center torso rear, but the pilot does not take any damage. And we lose initiative. No. The horror. And our enemy or our allies have arrived, which means that what was already an unfair fight is now even more unfair. No, don't go that way. That's a bad idea. We'll just do this and it'll be... Actually, you know what? Just stay where you are. Don't move. I kind of want the Phoenix Hawk just to stay there. Okay, the Talos got up and walked away. That's unfortunate. The Quasit was trying to move backwards over an elevation change, failed, fell, and then took 5 damage to the left arm and 1 damage to the right arm. How sad. So I think we fire a whole bunch at the Phoenix Hawk and hope for the best. And then we can put a large pulse laser into the back of the Talos. The Crab can put a couple of large lasers into the Phoenix Hawk, and then our Phoenix Hawk can also put some hurt into their Phoenix Hawk. Okay, so the Talos lost its left leg, and then the Phoenix Hawk got hit, the enemy Phoenix Hawk got hit a whole bunch. Then the Talos lost their left arm, and then they got hit in the head, and then they took an ammo hit, and they exploded. Well, that kind of destroys any hopes or dreams that I had about salvaging it, but okay, fine, whatever. Phoenix Hawk fell, took some damage to its head, and then... that's about that. And that was 50% of their team. So that's a victory. Oh, we're probably going to end up playing one more round. / victory. Ah, good. And then the Quasit failed to avoid a critical, and so they took an ammo hit and exploded also. No, and then yes. Great. So we retain the battlefield. Our trebuchet has heavy damage, allegedly, but everybody looks fine. The Quasit didn't escape. It very much did not escape. It exploded horribly and badly. The Phoenix Hawk, you can argue, got away. Right? It didn't lose a leg, right? Yeah, it didn't lose anything, so you can argue the Phoenix Hawk probably got away. There's that. There's that. Neither one of those are really our kills, which is fine. Yeah, looks great to me. Finish. We'll recover both of those, and we'll add some salvage percentage, but I don't want either one. They can have them. All right, so some folks were involved in combat, and that is that. I have to go to the bathroom, so I will be right back. Stand by. Okay. Now that that is all said and done, we shouldn't have anybody that's actually hurt. And yeah, so from there, all we have to do is wait for the next one, which is sometime. In 2 days. So we'll go ahead and advance 1 day. Bravo Lance went ahead and came on back, which is great. I guess Alpha Lance probably could have fought both of those then, but how was I to know? All right, let's go ahead and make sure the Griffin and the Trebuchet and all of them actually get repaired. Good deal. There's all that. And our Marauder got here. I am excited. Okay, let's go ahead and activate this bad boy. That's fine. Okay, cool. Really quick, let's go ahead and assign a tech just so we don't forget. Oh, that was a mechanic. My bad. Okay, and with all that stuff being said and done, let's go ahead and get ready to jump on into battle number 2 for the day. Man, not even an hour into the stream, getting ready for our second battle. That's exciting. So here's a question for folks who are, watching probably later on. If you're watching this on Twitch, what do you actually prefer watching? Do you prefer seeing the MegaMek side where you're seeing the battles and everything else? Or do you prefer seeing the MekHQ side, or do you enjoy the mix? Do you enjoy seeing a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Leave a comment after you see this video and just kind of let me know what your thoughts are, what your preferences are. That's all said and done. I don't want to deal with sleet if I can help it. Okay, we won't get any salvage, so no point in deploying any recovery units. Okay, all of our folks are starting south. All of their people are starting north. Our allies are coming in on round 5. Okay. Oh, that's a gross map. That's extra gross. Oof. This is gross, man. Super gross. I mean, no matter what, we're going to have to close the distance and just run hard north. I forgot that I'm bringing a Victor along. It makes me sad. Oh, hi, buddy. Oh, hi. Hold on 1 second. All right, hopefully that still works, kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly. And then, actually... Okay, maybe that'll work fine. Possibly. Okay, I think that will probably work fine. If it's too soft, then I am really sorry, folks, but I have to deal with a small fuzzy thing on my lap. Okay, there we go. Now what do we do? No, buddy. I'm so sorry if the mic gets hit by a tail. then an archer. All right. Sounds bad, but I kind of don't care who wins initiative in this probably the first 2 rounds, because what am I supposed to do? Also, what are they supposed to do? They have a couple of hovercraft, but they have a lot of non-hovery things. I don't know, man. Like, what's this poor Crusader supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to stand there and just look pretty? It's a feel-good moment when the only person watching your stream is a bot. It's not a whole lot in the first round. Everybody's just closing the distance, just trying to get closer to where they can actually do something to the other team. I think, again, we're not going to try to make it to the north side of the map. I think it's just going to be punching the enemy in the face. Oh, their Maxim took some damage. How sad. I feel like by the time we get close enough where we could actually shoot at the enemy, our allies will be here. Not that I'm sad about that, but... Oh, I got off by 1. Shoot. We'll do that. I'm trying to feel bad for that Maxim, but it's just... I can't. I cannot feel bad for it. Interestingly, I think that Cicada's in range. Okay, cool. Let's just throw some energy at it and see what happens. And we magically hit it in the left leg. The poor guy. We win initiative, and here we go. All right. Definitely not hitting him this turn, though. No one is hit. Oh, almost no one is hitting him. Poor guy. He just can't catch a break. Be interesting to see what happens with all of our allies being right there next to them. Skip the Awesome, skip the Victor. The Wolverine can probably shoot at something. You know, like the dude in front of him. It's not my ammo, so you might as well shoot at him. So I'm not going to read off everything for the allies and what they're doing, but that is a bad break right there. Just like right off the get-go, gets smacked in the machine by a machine gun, and you get an engine hit and a gyro hit through the armor. Not ideal. Cicada takes one hit from our ER large laser. And then, yeah, our allies are doing bad things to this poor little Stinger. Very bad things. And our Vindicator missed with everything. The enemy Shadowhawk firing at the Trebuchet, hits with a couple of things. The Archer misses. The Stinger falls, takes some damage to his left torso, and the pilot takes some damage. Poor guy. Oh, the Crusader's the mech commander. I didn't know that. So he falls, blows up his own ammo, and then dies. Ouch. That is less than ideal for him. Very much less than ideal. We win initiative, which is kind of neat. Well, we'll just keep on keeping on. Okay, don't turn on the ice. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Go into the woods and then turn. Oh, nope. Click the right thing. All right, here we go. And last but not least, oh, that poor Stinger. It's a bad pilot who just can't get up and blacks himself out. Poor guy. All right. Can't see the cicada, so we won't shoot at him with the awesome. Victor still can't do anything. The Wolverine, however, can definitely do things to that cicada. We'll go 1 over on heat. That's fine. Yeah, ammo is cheap. It's fine. Oh, and a medium pulse laser can move in that direction. Nothing with the Archer. All right, so moving down to the cicada, it does hit the Wolverine with 1 medium laser in the left torso. The Stinger on the enemy team finally dies, which is nice. Our Wolverine firing at the cicada hits with medium pulse laser into the left arm, and then medium pulse laser into the right torso. ER large laser misses. SRM6 misses. Sad day. I mean, there's still just, like, bad things are happening to this poor little Stinger. And then the Vindicator, ironically, does hit with the medium pulse laser in the left leg, destroying the left leg of the cicada. Cicada automatically falls, taking damage to his left torso. The pilot also takes 1 hit. Physical attacks happen. Shadowhawk gets kicked. One of our allies falls and takes a little bit of damage. As a reminder, we have to destroy 75% of their forces. We're getting there. We are getting there. Oh, good. So he ejected, so that gets us a little bit closer. take that risk. Do that so we don't have to turn on the ice. All right, so this Kata ejected. Everybody else, for the most part, it looks like, made some good skill checks. And we move on. Awesome, can't really see anybody. Victor is useless in this fight. And, oh, all right. So the Wolverine is actually getting into the mix a little finally. It's interesting the Maxim is a +3 to hit. I feel like if it was a mobile, which it is, we should have a pretty significant negative modifier. Oh, it's because of how many intervening woods there are. Got it. Well, let's fire a couple of 1 ER large at the Vedette and see what happens. Fire a PPC and LRM at the Vedette and see what happens. And then the Archer, probably not going to do a whole lot. Nope. The Vedette firing at the Wolverine missed. Wolverine firing at the Vedette also missed. Oh man, the enemy Stinger took a shot to the head, which is not ideal for him, considering there's no armor there. Vindicator does hit with an LRM 5, hitting with 3 of the missiles, doing 3 damage to the left side and doing minor damage to the motive system. All right. Enemy Shadowhawk kicks the Trebuchet. The Dervish kicks a Maxim. The Stinger misses on the Trebuchet. The the ally Wolverine on the Shadowhawk kicks the left leg. Everybody stays standing. And we win initiative, which is always great. Just keep on trundling north. Thankfully, the gravity is not high enough to make that jump failure matter. Okay, well. 7's on the Maxim. I think that's worth a couple of PPCs. It's a couple. We can skip the Victor. Wolverine at the Vedette. We can go 1 over on Heat with the ER larges. Hope and a Prayer with an 11. Still have 20 rounds on the LRM, so we're fine there. And then otherwise, for the Archer, we're still well out of range for everything. Awesome. Does hit the Maxim once in the right rear. There's 2 armor remaining there. Vedette firing at the Wolverine missed. Stinger is destroyed, which is great for us. The Trebuchet is not in a good spot right now. Wolverine firing at the Vedette also missed. Needed 7s and rolled a 3 and a 6. And then the Vindicator missed as well. Everybody is missing. Oof. All right, so the Trebuchet just lost a leg when the Shadowhawk kicked it. Dervish kicked the Maxim Heavy Hover Transport. The other one that I shot. The other one from the one I shot. Damaging the right rear. Trebuchet kicked the left leg of the Shadowhawk and also destroyed its left leg. Man, that's unfortunate. Well, hey, they can share shoes now because they took out the right leg of the Trebuchet and the left leg of the Shadowhawk. They can share shoes. It's fine. Wolverine kicking the Shadowhawk also smacked the right leg. Shadowhawk falls, damages his right leg and its left torso. Pilot takes 1 damage. Trebuchet falls, damages the right arm. I have a crazy cat here. And the Trebuchet pilot also takes a damage. And we win initiative. Oof. Don't do that. Do not turn on ice. Oops. Enemy Shadowhawk is destroyed by ejection, which is also great. Trebuchet also ejected. All right, let's take a look. I think it's time to shoot this Maxim again. Couple of PPCs always does a world of good. Everybody needs a couple of PPCs in life. Skip the Victor. Wolverine can shoot at the Vedette. Can also shoot at the Vedette with the Vindicator. And let's see what happens. Archer, oh, you're actually probably in range of something now. Okay, yeah, 7s. Get warm. Get warm. I don't care if I lose this mech because it's not mine. I don't own it. Oh, man, the Dervish is mixing it up with the wrong platoon. So we managed to hit the left side of the Maxim while aiming at the right side of the Maxim. Or last turn, apparently last turn we hit the right side of the Maxim while aiming at the left side. I don't know. Either way, we smacked the left side in the front with a couple of PPCs. The Wolverine at the allied Wolverine at the Vedette hits, immobilizing it. Vedette firing at our Wolverine missed. Our Wolverine firing at the Vedette hits with one of the ER larges into the turret. Maxim firing at the Dervish smacks it a bunch. Oh, man. That Dervish is having a bad day. It just got smacked in the head twice. Vindicator missed the Vedette twice. And the Archer... Oh, I didn't realize we were carrying fragmentation ammo. Why? Why does anybody load fragmentation ammo? But you know what? That means I should be firing at the infantry. So I'm going to start shooting at the infantry with that Archer. Does that make sense? Okay, good. The Maxim is dead. The enemy's down to 45%, which is neat. Throw like 3 rounds at that Maxim and hope for the best. The Victor, I don't think is going to fire a single shot this entire game. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. All right, we'll put some of the medium pulses and then the ER large towards that Vedette since it's immobilized. I kind of want the Victor to shoot at the Ares. Just for fun. Why not? Seems like a good idea. Okay, so got it. I just was a dumb and forgot to change the ammo. Okay, great. But 24 versus 28. It's an 11 to hit or an 11 to hit. Dervish continues to have a bad day. Vedette takes a hit from the allied Wolverine. Our Awesome hits with 2 of the 3 PPCs, one going into the front, one going into the right side, down to 0 armor on the front. Wolverine hitting the Vedette hits with both medium pulses and the large. Everything hitting the front is down to 0 armor. The Ares hits with an LRM-10 into the Wolverine, doing some damage to the right arm and the left torso. The Vindicator misses with everything. The Archer also misses. And then the Maxim gets kicked by the Dervish. We'll just keep on working on this Maxim. And then the Victor is still just as useless as it was before. Kind of wanted to shoot the Ares. Seems like a good idea. Why not? We'll shoot the Ares. And then the Vindicator can shoot at the Vedette for us. Oh, the Allied Dervish just exploded everywhere. That is terrible. Ah! Hello, good sir. How are you doing today? Awesome. Hits the Maxim on the right side. And then Vedette does manage to hit the Wolverine with a machine gun and an SRM2. Doing a little bit of damage to it, but that's fine. Wolverine firing the ER large laser smacks the Ares twice, once in the front, once in the left side. Ares misses against the Wolverine. The Vindicator just goes straight through the front of the Vedette with an ER PPC. And the Archer once again misses that foot platoon. The MekHQ goes pretty well. We already did one fight today. This one should be done very soon, so I will give you the cliff notes very shortly. We need to destroy like one more unit, and then we'll be down below that 75% mark, which hopefully does not take us very long. This one is more of a slog, not because it's hard, but just because it's mind-numbingly slow. Oh, yeah, I hate it when you end up with stuff like that. Or like Moonless Nights with... It's like Moonless Night with Blizzard. Just suddenly everything has a +5 modifier on it. So unless you're standing in front of them... If you're standing in front of them point blank range with like pulse weapons, then it's only like a 10 to hit. You know, no big deal. Do that. Yeah, melee is definitely the answer, but when you're on a map like this one that's like nice and long, inevitably you always play those games where it's a Moonless Night and it's a Blizzard, and for some reason the only team that you have is all like 4 or 5 pilots, and you start on the south side, the enemy's on the north side, and everybody can move at a speed of 2. You want to just demolish yourself because you can't do anything. And it takes forever to get anywhere. Shoot a couple of PPCs at the Maxim. This Victor isn't going to do a darn thing this entire game. Okay, a couple of medium pulses and a large, and send it. All right, last fragmentation round. Is this the time? Maybe. Maybe it is. All right, so the Awesome killed the Maxim Heavy Hover Transport. Yay! Wolverine smacks the Ares once with a medium pulse laser into the turret. They're down to 11 armor there. The Ares misses. Vindicator misses. The Archer does amazing things with its fragmentation ammo. Fragmentation ammo is horrendous, except when you're wanting to deal with infantry. So we just deleted an infantry platoon, which is that's always a feel good moment. All right, that actually should have brought us to where we needed to be. So let's do /victory. That way we can hopefully be done with this madness. No gift this time. Sure. Billion. Do that. And yeah, they are less than 75% for sure. Whole lot of nothing to do here. Yes, we made it with those. So, the only thing you missed was while we were wandering around, we had that frontline engagement, which I think was there from the last time. And then as we were waiting for that, then we got this intercept engagement. No, actually, hold on. Last time, we had the heavy recon evasion that was pending. I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to deal with it. We had plenty of victory points. Everything was going fine. So we did a fleet and being and called it good. I didn't want to deal with it. So then had the frontline engagement pop up, and it was like 6 days out. No big deal. Next day, intercept engagement pops up. Well, I've got like one frontline unit. So I scrounged together another frontline lance with some meh pilots and a bunch of mechs that I had lying around that I kind of forgot about. And it worked. Fortunately, they didn't really bring a whole lot because they had, 2 Quasit mechs, a Talon, and a basic Phoenix Hawk, like a Phoenix Hawk 1. So that fortunately went very well. And then this one, which was a snoozer. Overall, you haven't missed anything. We are just waiting for an AC5, excuse me, an AC5 to get delivered, and then we're waiting for all the stuff for the Orion to get delivered. We did, however, our Marauder did get delivered, which is very exciting, which reminds me, I think that we're going to get the Victor out of here. We'll move the pilot from the Victor over to the Marauder. There they are. And then we can assign you. Whoops. We'll just do it from here. We'll add our Marauder to there. Ooh, that feels good. All right. That should all be fine. I think that we still have a little ways on an AC5 being delivered. Yeah, not for another 8 days. So when that gets delivered, then we'll bring the Wolverine that's in the training lance back and do things with that, I guess. Let's keep on looking for the enemy base, though. Oh, hey, we didn't fail this time, which is great. One day he'll get an experience so that we can finally give him 1 rank in training. Decoy interception. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. This is not good. That just spawned right on my training lance. That spawned on my training lance. That's not good. Oh man, that's a bumpski. Oh man. I think I might let this one go. Even though it's a turning point, we're still doing fine on victory points. And I said it earlier, but because we couldn't deal with the dropship raid when it happened, this is already a partial victory no matter what we do. I'm going to let this one go. Because my training lance, if they drop into this, they're all going to die. And then I'll be sad. Sadder. We're not fighting this one. It's just not going to happen. Aha, there we go. Finally found the hostile base of operations. What else did we have here? So annihilation. I like where this is coming off from. Your orders are clear. This is not a surgical strike, nor a precision raid. This is an extermination. The enemy force is in this sector and must be wiped out with 95% confirmed casualties before we consider this battlefield secured. Their continued presence is unacceptable, and we cannot afford to let even a remnant regroup for future operations. The victor controls the field, and we will be the ones standing when the dust settles. Enemy mech commander has been spotted. Destroy them. Your employer has deployed an observer to monitor your performance, and additional allied mechs are approaching the area because of our mech base. They are bringing an archer, a Scorpion, Pike support vehicle. Is this the one with the PPC or the LRMs? Oh, this is the really bad one that just has a pile of AC2s and a couple SRMs. A Warhammer. I'd love to get my hands on that. A Vulcan Cicada and a laser carrier. Is this the one with all the medium lasers? Yeah. Our friends are bringing a Trebuchet, a Scorpion, a Centurion, and a Wyvern. And we have a Marauder for support. Cool. So we're going to let the decoy interception go for sure now. We'll do a fleet and being. It'll be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. And then we'll do the annihilation. And that'll be great. So that's on the 23rd. Yeah. Cool. Let's go forward a couple of days. Again, not doing that. No. Yes, continue. All right, so we have annihilation today. Good deal. Well, why don't we go ahead and we'll deploy Alpha Lance really quick, let's take a look at our mechs that are in Alpha Lance. What do we have for ammo in all of these bad boys? So you're carrying an SRM-6. I kind of want to... Do I have any Deadfire ammo for my SRMs? I do. I have like a tiny, tiny amount. I have 50 shots for SRM4, which can then be converted into SRM6. I kind of want to load Deadfire ammo for that Wolverine. And then what do I have for LRM ammo? I think I have... Wait, no. Hold on. Wrong awesome. Yeah, SRM6. Let's do Deadfire. And then for AC5, we're a little early for precision ammo. Don't need flak, so we're fine. We're good there. Let's reload this. Really quick, like, let's do this. Try it again. Okay, there's all of that. Briefing, Annihilation, Deploy, Alpha Lance, Go Power Ranger. Start a game, commence drop. Go ahead and put our Recovery Lance out there. Should only need 3 dudes. Actually, probably should only need 2, but do 3 for good measure. All right, and I'm going to take a quick, like, 3-minute break, grab a drink of water, and I'll be right back since I've been going for like 2 hours. So stand by for like 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. So we start in the east. The enemy starts in the west. Our friends come in on round 6, and they come in from the southeast. Here's to hoping. Oh no, did I mess up? Oh no, it's gusting rain. Hold on. I messed up. Back out of this. I'm going to see if I can re-roll it. No, don't save that. Re-roll. Moderate rain. Moderate rain is much better. Yeah, no joke. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad backing out if I ever reroll. Okay, let's try that again. Otherwise, an entire field of nothing but mud. Ooh, that sounds terrible. All right. It's still an entire field of mud. But you know what? We'll see what happens. So slow. And we lost initiative, so I don't even know where they're coming in from. Hopefully they just counter me directly, and then it's not a big deal. I think maybe we come in down the south to give us a little bit more space to get up to the ledge. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Put the awesome there. The Wolverine will be able to jump, so I actually don't care where he comes in at. Vindicator is, I think, my worst pilot. Piloting wise, I think he is, anyways. Okay, let's do that. Here's to hoping. And we lost initiative. Sad day. So either I can jump onto ice or I can jump into mud. I don't like either one of those options, man. I don't like them. This might be a very, very slow game. At some point in time, we will get close enough to the enemy to do something. I mean, we'll yeet a couple of rounds at a cicada because it sounds fun, but I'm not going to hold my breath at all. And we miss naturally. Took 2 tiebreakers, but we finally lost the initiative. Oh, but we finally won initiative. Here's the hoping. Here's the hoping something good happens. I think the cicada might regret its decision very soon. If I were that cicada, I think I would have rather stood in front of the awesome. But it's fine, you know. You want to stand right in front of the Wolverine, that's also fine with me. needs a 6, rolls a 5, needs a 6, rolls a 3, needs an 8, rolls a 7, needs an 8, rolls a 7. It hurts. It hurts so bad. Fortunately, the Vindicator at least hits with one thing, and hits with a medium pulse into the head of the Cicada, doing 6 damage. It's down to 3 armor. The Cicada pilot, however, can hit just fine with 2 medium lasers into the Wolverine. All right, we'll risk it on a 5. We'll risk it on a 7. All right, Cicada kicks the Wolverine, doing 8 damage to the right leg. Wolverine kicks the Cicada in the right leg, doing 11 damage, down to 5 internal structure. And then the Vindicator kicks the Cicada in the left leg, doing 9 damage. It's down to 7 internal structure, also critting on the upper leg. Cicada took 20 damage, and it was kicked, and it lost the leg actuator, and so it fell, doing 5 damage to the right torso. But the pilot does not take any damage. The Wolverine stays standing. So if I come out here, then it opens me up to all this stuff. Nothing can really hit me because I can't hit it, but there's no point in even going there if I can't do anything, versus being able to close the distance to my friends off on the north. Well, the Cicada did manage to stand up, which is neat for him. We do have shots on the Archer, interestingly enough. So we'll throw a couple of rounds down towards him. The Wolverine, unfortunately, has no shots. But the Vindicator does. Whoops. Don't need to shoot the LRM. That doesn't make sense. PPC is a 5, the medium pulse is a 3, so I'll take that risk. And then we're out of range for everything on the PPC coming from our Marauder. And then our attached Marauder can't shoot anything right now. Archer shooting at the Vindicator misses. Awesome firing at the Archer, hits with one of the ER PPCs into the left torso. It's down to 14 armor. Pike fires and misses on the Vindicator. Vindicator into the Cicada, hits the center torso with a PPC and the left torso with a medium pulse laser. Center torso is down to 1 armor, left torso is down to 0. And then the Scorpion hits the Vindicator with a PPC right in the center torso. Ouch. Cicada hits the Vindicator on the left torso and the right arm with a couple of medium lasers. Vindicator took 20 damage but stays standing. That was unfortunate. So the Cicada missed the Vindicator. Vindicator kicks the left leg of the Cicada, destroying the left leg, transferring a couple damage to the left torso. It's down to internal structure only. Cicada falls, lands on its left side, doing another 5 damage to the left torso. It's down to 3 internal structure, critting on a medium laser, and also doing 1 point of damage to the pilot, putting him into 2 points of damage. And with that, we win initiative. And our friends have arrived. So we'll back the Vindicator up, just to make sure that it's safe and sound. And then the Wolverine can come up and take its place. If needed, kick the Cicada. Cicada tried to stand up, fell, and then the pilot took one more point of damage. Yes, I am going to shoot at the laser carrier instead of the Vulcan, because even one hit in the laser carrier might immobilize it, which, who doesn't love that? Oh, the horror. One hex away from doing something. Wolverine, or sorry, the Archer misses the Wolverine. Awesome. Hits the... See, this is exactly what I was saying. Hits the laser carrier with one of the ERPPCs into the right side, down to 2 armor, but does major damage to the motive system, immobilizing the vehicle. Wolverine, firing at the Cicada, smacks it with some SRM-6 Deadfire, destroying the left torso, critting on the center torso, damaging a gyro. Then hitting the center torso and hitting the center torso. It's down to 1 internal structure on that center torso. I kind of just hope that the pilot ejects. That would be nice. The Wyvern hits the Archer with a large laser on the left torso. Vulcan misses. The attached Marauder hits with an AC-5 flechette into the Archer. Or sorry, misses with the AC-5 flechette. Well, we can see if we kick him in the head. We do not kick him in the head. We destroy the center torso instead, which is a bit of a bummer. Ooh, 6s on the Scorpion with the ERPPCs. It's an 8 with a medium pulse laser. So why don't we shoot 2 PPCs and a couple of medium pulse, or a medium pulse, and maybe a couple of streaks, and see where that lands us. You can also add a couple of large lasers at the Scorpion. the Awesome hits with both of the PPCs into the Scorpion, hitting the right torso and the front right leg with the PPCs. Misses with everything else, unfortunately. Warhammer firing at the Attached Marauder misses. Scorpion firing at the Wolverine misses. Our Wolverine misses. So close. Vulcan firing at the Attached Marauder hits the right torso with an AC-2. Vindicator firing at the Archer misses. Wyvern firing at the Archer misses. The Archer firing at the Marauder hits with 9 out of its 20 semi-guided LRMs, doing 5 damage to the left leg and 4 damage to the left arm. Then our Marauder misses. Attached Marauder does hit with one of the PPCs in the right torso of the Warhammer, doing 10 damage to the right torso. Ooh, exciting times. The Scorpion falls after taking greater than 20 damage, doing 5 damage to the rear center torso, and then 2 damage to the front left leg, but the pilot takes no damage. Most of our stuff is doing pretty okay on heat. Our Attached Marauder is a little warm with 6 heat. And we ended up losing initiative. Oh, the Scorpion managed to stand up. How unfortunate. Well, the Warhammer will be a 10. The Vulcan would be a 9, but the laser carrier is only a 5. Maybe we send some presents to the laser carrier. And shoot a couple of ER larges towards the Archer. Scorpion looks like it needs another ER PPC to hold on to this turn. We'll get a little warm this turn. We'll go 6 over and see if we can't lay out that Archer. We'll go a little over on the heat and keep on working on that Warhammer with our Attached Marauder. Awesome firing at the laser carrier, just destroys the right side with an ER PPC. And then for good measure, we also explode the fuel tank. It's sufficiently gone. The Pike support vehicle misses. Our Wolverine misses. The enemy Warhammer firing at the Attached Marauder hits with a PPC under the right arm. Vindicator into the Scorpion hits with an ER PPC into the front left leg. It's down to 11 internal structure. Our Marauder hits the Archer with a PPC in the right arm, misses with everything else. Vulcan misses. Attached Marauder misses. The Wyvern misses, and the Archer misses. And we end up winning initiative, which is great. All right, with it being 6s to hit on those ERP PCs, we're going to fire all 3 of them, and we'll get warm. It's okay. Same thing, it's a 7 to hit with the ER larges. We'll go ahead and go 4 over on heat, and it'll be a-okay fine. We can definitely unload with a Vindicator. So I think the Marauders will team up on the Vulcan this turn. Put a PPC and an AC-5 into the Vulcan. So the Archer on the Wolverine misses. Awesome hits with all 3 of its ERP PCs, hitting the on the Archer, the left arm, and right arm. Oofta. The Wolverine at the Archer also hits with both of its ER larges into the center torso. It's down to 17 armor there. Warhammer missed with everything. Trebuchet firing at the Vulcan hits with 9 of its 15 missiles, doing some damage to the right leg and the center torso. Vindicator firing at the Archer. It hits with its ERPPC into the left arm. It's down to 3 internal structure, critting on the shoulder, and the LRM-5 hits with 3 of 5 into the left torso. Our Marauder firing at the Vulcan. Missed. Needs a 7 and rolls a 5. Needs a 7 and rolls a 5. Womp womp. Vulcan firing at the attached Marauder. Missed. And then the attached Marauder firing at the Vulcan hits with the PPC into the right leg, medium laser into the right arm, medium laser into the right torso, and then an AC-5 into the center torso, which is pretty great. But I need to remember to look to see if I have any other ammo other than Flechette, because I keep on forgetting to look. And then the Wyvern firing at the Vulcan hits the left torso with a large laser. Archer took greater than 40 damage, needs an 8, rolls a 5, falls down, falls onto his left arm, destroying its left arm, transferring 2 damage to the left torso, is down to 1 armor, and then takes an additional 3 damage to the center torso. And then the pilot avoids damage. Vulcan also needs to try to stay standing after damage, needs an 11, rolls an 8, falls down, hits the left torso, doing 5 damage. It's down to 9 internal structure and crits on a jump jet, and the pilot takes a hit. Nobody can do any physical attacks, so our Awesome is at 7 heat. Our Marauders at 2, our attached Marauders at 6 heat, so we're doing okay overall. And thankfully, we win initiative yet again. And before I forget... Oh, man. Nope, can't do that. Any way at all I can get to a point where I can see the Warhammer. That's about it. That was a strong choice by the Scorpion. I'm not going to complain very much, but it was still a very strong choice. Let's go ahead and we'll jump in to look at the Archer. If I do that, then I'm not giving my rear to the Scorpion. Oh, that pilot knocked himself out. That's unfortunate for him. So we'll go ahead and move up next to the Warhammer and see if we can't give him a little kick. Vulcan tried to get up, failed, fell down, tried to get up, failed, fell down, and blacked out. Everybody else succeeded. Well, I think there's only one thing for us to do. And that's to provide some presents for the Scorpion. And then additionally, we can provide some presents for this nice archer. Oof, 8 over? No, we're not going to go 8 over on heat. I think I'm a little more worried about that archer, honestly. So we'll do the PPC and the LRM and a medium pulse laser at the archer. Let's go ahead and put a PPC and an AC5 into the Warhammer, hopefully. And then we'll do a medium laser, and that's it. That's all we'll do this turn. Oh, an AC5. Doesn't add heat, really. All right, the awesome firing at the Scorpion hits with both ERPPCs, both going to the left torso. It's down to 4 internal structure. Medium laser into the front right leg. And then a small pulse laser into the front left leg. All of that's down into 2 internal structure, and we crit on a foot. Warhammer at the attached Marauder hits with a small laser into the center torso, critting with no effect. Excuse me. And then also with a machine gun into the left arm. Wolverine into the archer hits with both medium pulse lasers into both of the legs. Missed with the SRM, sadly. Scorpion firing at the awesome hits with the PPC into the left torso. SRM 6 with dead fire ammo hits with 3 of the 6, doing 3 damage to the left arm, 3 damage to the right torso, and 3 damage to the left leg. Then the Vindicator missed with everything. The archer firing at the awesome hits with a medium laser into the center torso. Wyvern firing at the Vulcan crits on the center torso, damaging the engine, gyro, and the jump jet. Then finally, our Marauder missed with everything. The attached Marauder hits with both the medium lasers into the center torso and the right torso, missing with the AC5. Forgot to look at the ammo again. The awesome took 20 damage, so it needs to roll and stay standing. Scorpion took 20 damage. Rolls, falls onto its right side, doing 5 damage to the right torso, critting on the SRM 6, and the pilot takes a hit. And then we kick. This is the one I'm most excited for. Because who doesn't love kicking using the punch table? All right, so the Warhammer trying to kick the Marauder missed. Awesome. Kicking the Scorpion hits the front left leg, doing 16 damage, destroying it, transferring some damage to the left torso. Destroying the left torso, transferring damage to the center torso is down to 20 armor. Then the Wolverine at the archer hits the right torso, it's down to 13 armor. And the Marauder kicking the Warhammer kicks the right leg, it's down to 0 armor. The archer was kicked, needs a 5, rolls a 3, falls down, falls onto its right side, damaging the right torso, the left arm, and the left torso. Well, the left arm doesn't exist, so it goes to the left torso. The pilot avoids damage. The Warhammer needs a 6, rolls a 5, falls onto its rear, takes 5 damage to the right arm and 3 damage to the right arm. And the pilot also avoids taking damage, which is always exciting. And most of our stuff is pretty cool. The Awesome's down to 4 heat now, which is neat. We win initiative by a gnat's eyelash. And pretty much their entire team is prone. Their archer did manage to stand up, which is pretty great for him. And great for us, because we're going to skip our movement and try to kick him in the head again. Our Marauder can come down. Ooh, or will we? I think maybe we'll just hold our ground right there. The Awesome can stand still. The Warhammer did manage to get up, so this Marauder can also stand still. And then finally, the Vindicator can take a few steps forward. Or a step forward. So the Archer tried to get up, fell, took some damage to the center torso and the left torso. Pilot avoided taking damage and then eventually did stand up. The Scorpion tried to get up, fell. Oh, that's rough. It fell on ice. Oof. Anyways, fell, took some damage to the front right leg, critting on the hip. Took some more damage to the left torso rear that transferred to the center torso. The pilot took another hit, and the Warhammer did get up. Well, with all that being said and done, a couple of ERPPCs with a medium pulse and a Streak SRM2 and a small pulse laser should be just fine. Should be just fine. As for you, a couple of medium pulse lasers and an SRM6 and an ER large also will do wonders. We'll put the ER PPC and then the medium pulse towards the Archer and then call that good. The Marauder can put 2 PPCs in the general direction of the Warhammer as well as an AC5. And then the friendly Marauder can do a couple of medium lasers and an AC5 and a PPC for funsies. So the enemy Archer into the Wolverine hits with a medium laser into the left torso. Awesome. Firing at the Scorpion. Naturally hits with everything that it couldn't mess with. So a PPC goes into the rear left leg. Another PPC goes into the rear left leg. It's down to 3 internal structure. The medium pulse laser goes into the center torso, critting without effect. SRM2 hits with 2 of the 2 missiles, doing 2 damage to the right left leg. Rear left leg. Right left leg? Rear left leg, critting on the upper leg, and then another 2 damage, destroying the rear left leg. That's 2 of its 4 legs down, and the small pulse laser goes into the center torso. Wolverine into the Archer hits with a medium pulse into the right leg, medium pulse into the left torso. The SRM6 again misses, needing a 5, rolling a 3. The ER large hits into the right leg. Trebuchet firing at the Vulcan. Long story short, destroys the left torso, crits on the engine and the gyro. I think it's down to 1 gyro hit and 1 engine hit left. And then it's down to 1 internal structure on the center torso. Oof. Warhammer at the attached Marauder. Yeah, holding on by a thread. It's the... You know, since this is at the very beginning of the Clan War, this is probably like an old, and these are pirates, this is probably like an old First Succession War mech that just like got lost. So that's literally duct tape holding it together. Because you know that the pirates are not using quality things. They are using off-brand duct tape to hold everything together. The Warhammer hits the Marauder with a medium laser into the right arm and a small laser into the right arm. And then a machine gun into the right arm. Just all the things into the right arm. Vindicator puts an ERPPC into the left torso of the Archer, destroying it, critting on the LRM-20, which then transfers 6 damage into the center torso and misses with the medium pulse. Our Marauder hits with a PPC into the Warhammer into the left torso rear, critting on 2 locations into the machine gun and the small laser. It's down to 13 internal structure. And the AC5 hits into the left arm. Our attached Marauder, ooh, nice, does a through armor crit into the gyro for the Warhammer. And then medium laser into the left leg and AC5. I forgot to look again at the ammo. Shoot. Into the left arm. PPC missed, unfortunately. Wyvern firing at the Archer hits the left arm that transfers to the left torso, which then transfers to the center torso. Archer took a bunch of damage, needs a 7, rolls a 5, falls down onto its left side, which then does 5 damage to the center torso. Critting on the engine. Oh man, poor guy. And then the pilot takes a hit. Warhammer took a gyro hit and 20 damage, so has to make 2 rolls. Needs a 10, rolls a 12, needs a 10, rolls a 4, falls down onto its right side, which causes 5 damage to the left leg and 3 damage to the right leg, critting on the lower leg on the right side. But the pilot takes no damage. Isn't that nice? All right, kick the Scorpion. And then kick the Warhammer. So the Scorpion, everything transfers into the center torso. It's down to 12 internal structure. Marauder, kicking the Warhammer, kicks the left arm, it's down to 9 internal structure. Our Marauder's at 5 heat. Everybody else is doing pretty okay. The Vulcan pilot is still unconscious. And we lose initiative pretty hard. Whoops. I'll just do that. I'll be fine. All right, so the Scorpion ejected. Archer tried to get up, fell, took some more damage to its right torso. And the pilot took a second hit. But it did eventually get up. Good for you, buddy. I don't know what you're going to do, but it'll be fine, I guess. We'll donate a couple of PPCs to the cause. I'm actually gonna ignore the Archer with the Wolverine, and instead, or maybe I won't. Yeah, we'll do this instead. 7, 5, and 5. We'll just do that. And instead, we'll have the Vindicator fire towards the downed Warhammer. We'll skip with our Marauder this turn, let him get nice and cool. And then, a prone target adjacent. I think we can get warm. We can get very warm. So the Awesome hits with both of its ERPPCs, one into the left leg, which is really funny considering the angle. Like, if you thought about the actual angle, that left leg, I think, should actually be behind cover. And then the other one goes into the right arm, destroying the right arm, transferring the right torso. Oh, yeah, the PPC, the ERPPC Awesome. Like I said, I think I said it last time, but in my off-stream campaign that I have going, I've got the LRM Awesome, which just doesn't make sense. It has a pair of LRM 15s, a large laser, and a small laser. Like, it's worse than an Archer. The only nice thing is that it has plenty of heat sinks, because it's got like 28 of them for no good reason. But the ERPPC awesome is just chef's kiss. All right, so Wolverine firing at the Archer still cannot hit with an SRM, but does hit with both the medium pulses going into the center torso and the right arm, which transfers to the right torso. Trebuchet destroys that center torso finally on the Vulcan. Vulcan is gone. Vindicator firing into the Warhammer. Hits with the ERPPC into the left torso, and then LRM hits with 3 of its 5 missiles into the right torso, critting on a machine gun and the now empty SRM-6 ammo. Warhammer into the Marauder. Only hits with a machine gun into the right arm. Then the Marauder with a PPC into the left torso. And a medium laser into the right torso, critting on the SRM-6, PPC into the right arm. And then, man, I did it again. I forgot to look at the ammo. AC-5 into the right arm. It's down to 0 ammo. Dumb cat. Wyvern firing at the Vulcan. The Vulcan is already dead. The Archer stays standing. Good for him, bud. Skip with everything else, but you can definitely kick a Warhammer. So the Wolverine punches twice. Hits the center torso, smacking a gyro. Hits the center torso again. It's down to 2 internal structure. The Marauder kicking the Warhammer. Hits the left torso, destroying the left torso, blowing off the left arm, transferring 5 damage to the center torso. Archer falls. Lands on its right torso, or its right side, damaging the right torso and the left leg. And then the pilot takes another hit, but does stay conscious. All right, our friendly Marauder is at 9 heat, so it's a little warm. Not gonna be getting frostbite anytime soon. We lost initiative. Oh, the Warhammer ejected. I am betting. I am surprised that the Archer is not doing the same thing right now, honestly. What can I jump to? Is that ice? It'll be fine. It'll buff. It will buff. Oh, good. The Archer fell and killed itself. I love that for him. I don't think anybody can actually see the pike. Can you imagine what the crew of the Pike is feeling right now or thinking? They're probably sitting there going, all right, they just destroyed all the mechs. What are we supposed to do? Throw spitballs at them? What is this? Like, if I was them, I would just like come out of my Pike support vehicle and just be like, I give up. I give up. This is not worth it. Hopefully this round we are just done with this madness. that's a bad idea. All right, so we hit with the medium pulse into the left side of the pike support vehicle. Everybody else missed with everything. And we did win initiative eventually. That's another choice, just to drive straight up to the Wolverine. Just drive up to the Wolverine. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I mean, hopefully we can just end it this turn, so I think everybody can get a little warm. You know, I gotta tell you, for the most part, I love this Vindicator. I'm gonna finally remember at the very end of the game. Okay, he was only ever carrying flechette ammo. Good to know. All right, so the Awesome puts 3 PPCs into the pike support vehicle and destroys it. That's everything we need to know right there. Needless to say, we won. /victory. You know what I'm excited about? The Warhammer ejected. That means that we should be able to recover the Warhammer. Sure, why not? Yes. Oh no. And yes, of course we retained it. This is nice. Everybody is undamaged for the most part. We were able to recover everything. 2 of them are repairable. I'm going to give credit for the Archer to the Wolverine because he did the vast majority of the work there. All right, so the Scorpion, Warhammer can get pulled by the Heavy. Oh no, I need another Heavy. That's okay. This should still be fine. I don't really care about the Scorpion. Plus, it lost its center torso, right? It did not lose its center torso. Yeah, we'll just leave it the way it is. And I'll hold on to some salvage percentage. And hopefully... Hold on, don't be a dum-dum. Don't sell the Warhammer. hopefully we have more battles and we can just salvage some more stuff. All right, confirm. Yes. That puts a nice, happy new Warhammer in our hangar. By new, I mean lightly used. Very lightly used. Low miles. All right, what do we have on the Warhammer that we need that we don't have? Lower leg actuators, okay, fine. Dead fire ammo, no. Left torso, okay, fine. All right, cool. Did anybody get hurt on that, by the way? No, no, and no. Great. Let's go ahead and move forward a day. As soon as Alpha Lance gets back, then we'll redeploy them to deal with that mech base. Or the, whatever the base is. The hostile base of operations. All right, so everybody came home. We just have a little bit of armor to repair for the most part. A couple of things to reload. Nothing crazy. And yet another decoy interception. Because we didn't have enough of those already. They don't actually have a mech commander with them. They do have a guillotine and a crusader and a foot platoon and a goblin medium tank. Oh yeah. It's on the 26th. That's today. Well, I have been streaming for about 3 hours, and my own small goblin will be waking up well before I want her to. So I think I'm probably going to call it here. My next stream will be, I think, Monday. I'll put everything up on Blue Sky, and I'll change the stream description or the schedule down below. I know I forgot to do that last week, but the stream description down below will have my schedule for next week. So my plan will be to stream on Monday, Wednesday, at least Monday and Wednesday of next week, and that might be it for next week. There might be a weekend stream in there as well. And then the following week, I'll also plan to stream on Monday and Wednesday. So the next 2 weeks, Monday and Wednesday for sure. And yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell anybody who you'd like to. I would really appreciate having more people here. It's always great having people who interact. And then we need like 2 more followers on Twitch to meet our goal. So yeah, hopefully y'all can meet us on Twitch next time. Otherwise, if you're following along on YouTube, I hope you're continuing to enjoy the series. And if you have any thoughts or any ideas, anything you want to share, please leave a comment. If you're enjoying this on YouTube, also please make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Otherwise, I hope that everybody does well or is doing well. I hope that you have a great rest of the weekend, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye.